Eleanor Roosevelt had this great quote. She said that poor minds talk about other people, average minds talk about events, but great minds talk about ideas. Welcome to the Take On Everything podcast.
But hi, guys. I'm James Cook, and that's the always beautiful Sarahbrook. A little bit annoying, but you'll get used to it. So,
welcome to the Take On Everything, guys. It is December now. Can you believe that? For real?
Oh my God.
And It is like basically Christmas, which brings us to this episode. It happens to be the Christmas episode. And what is it called?
The 12 Days of COVID. And I think it's fitting just because it's been 12 months of horse shit. So let's end the year with a bang and talk about the ridiculousness that we just survived. And can we just talk about that for a second? Like, holy fuck, did we survive? Like, this is the first year of my life I did not live. I survived. I survived this year of my life. And I don't know if I'm just young and naive, but that's not fun. Surviving's not a good deal, James. And I don't think humans are meant to survive. That was tough on my psyche.
We're meant to thrive, okay? I'm sick and tired of this surviving.
I'm an American. I should not know struggle. What?
It's look, I'm privileged. I'm here because I'm privileged and I want to be privileged. If I didn't want to be privileged, I would have been born somewhere else, okay?
Exactly. You get born into a situation and then you get used to this level of service and comfort. And then they just take it away from you with no fucking regard, not even a warning. And I really want to talk to the manager because I did not use this year and I would really like my money back. Speaking of, James, are we going to get some of our money back?
I don't know. They're talking about it. So the stimulus that has been bubbling around, apparently the House and the Senate passed it. And they're, it's $900 and some billion, right? And we get $600. So we'll see if we're going to get $600. It passed everything. Trump doesn't seem to think that's enough, but I think it's the other 750 billion that's kind of worrisome.
I never thought I'd say this, but Trump is my president. Wow, thank you, Trump. You're right. $600 of my money back isn't enough money back. But then again, the more money they give back to me, the more money I'm going to fucking owe them. And it's
just a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. I did see a tweet though, which I thought was great. Somebody's apparently Trump, my man, he's going to up it to $2,000. Somebody get that recount going again. I think that's what he's going for. He's like, guys, apparently $1,200 was not enough last time to get me this recount. We need to up it to $2,000 because that's the only way.
You know what? When I heard of it, I was like, I hope they let them stay. And that was a genuine thought in my heart. And it's damn, I'm selfish, first of all, because no other reason than as long as he's there vetoing these bullshit bills. Sure. Stay, have fun. It's a made up position anyway. Just have fun dicking around and bombing brown kids, whatever.
Just don't pay attention to that real shit. Just don't pay attention to that real shit. As long as you keep that $2,000 flow in a month, I'll look the other way. I'm just saying. I'm not proud of it, but I might look the other way.
Yeah, but then again, before this, I was just letting them do that and rob me. But now I get $2,000 back a month. And all I gotta do is mind my business.
Which you were already doing. So they might as well
it's pure profit. It's pure profit that's really gonna fuck up my kids and grandkids. But for me in particular, it's pure profit.
That's right. That's right.
You just shove problems down the line and
let your kids deal with it. Let your grandkids deal with it.
I won't be alive. It's the American way. It's
That's
the
right.
American way. Just look at
how far
Social
can we kick
Security.
this can?
Yeah,
how far can we keep this can? I mean,
It's oh my God, we're awful. We're all gonna die.
That is so bad. That's like those thoughts that you have in your head, but you don't really want to say out loud because you just sound like a complete asshole and like somebody that has no heart at all. Well,
Yeah, and then I go
now
on a
it's
fucking
broadcasted.
podcast and then I broadcast it to the
You
world.
just broadcast it to the world.
Yep, it's exactly what that's like. It's like those thoughts that you don't say, and then you hop on the internet and you say them anyway. And now everyone's like, "Damn, Sarah,
It's like,
what?
ooh.
Oof. She did have a tough year. Well, she got desensitized to death and suffering this year,
That's
and
what
now
happens to you.
that's
2020, I'll do it.
Capitalism, really."
All right, so this is our COVID in review, our 12 days of COVID / 12 months of COVID. What happened in January? Like, can you even remember that far? Like, honestly, I feel like I don't even know where I am in the year, besides that they tell me it's almost Christmas. So,
I don't even go to stores, so I don't know it's Christmas because I can't hear that fucking incessant music. But
which they start like right after Halloween, by the way.
Unacceptable. And I feel like it's due to a lack of Thanksgiving music. So maybe that's something you could work on, James, for 2021.
There
you go. There's your resolution, Thanksgiving music. But so as far as in America, I think we had like World War III going on for a little bit.
We were flirting with World War III. We're trying to get that going.
Yeah, that was odd. And then we shelved that for a pandemic. And then we shelved a pandemic for a civil rights movement. And then we shelved that for an election. And now we're shelving the election for a pandemic again. So as far as January, we kind of just ignored the pandemic and we're really focused on World War III. I was excited. Never been in a war before.
Sign me up.
Yeah, not me. I'm a woman. Sign all
other people
I know. Right. Sign all the men I know up. And I get to watch and be Rosie the Riveter. And I was like, God, it's history. History repeats itself. I'm a 20s chick again. But as far as like a pandemic,
fashion though, Rosie the Riveter, she had that fashion thing going on.
She was badass.
Yeah, she was killing it.
Nailed it, especially for her time ahead of the game. Okay. And like that is a strong, independent woman who can like mix color schemes and patterns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fun random fact about Rosie the Riveter though. Rosie the Riveter was a riveter for about 6 weeks. And then she quit.
6 weeks?
6 weeks. She was a riveter for about 6 weeks, and then she quit because she said it was making her
Wait a minute. Stop. Rosie Riveter was a real person?
She was a real person.
What the fuck?
No joke. Rosie the Riveter was a real person.
Gloss over that part? Who was she? When was she born? How did we pick her? Like, what?
She was no, she's dead, unfortunately. I think she's dead. I actually don't know. Anyways,
let's Google it now that I know she's a human.
She's a real person. She was picked by the ad agency to be the model for Rosie the Riveter, and she was actually a riveter for about 6 weeks. She quit because I think she played violin or something. She said it was callousing her hands too much, and then she quit and she became a violinist or something like that. But yeah, fun fact: she was a real person, and
died in 2018.
Yeah, yes, I knew it was something recent, but yeah, no, she'd been around for a little while. But yeah, no, she was a riveter for a very very small amount of time.
Oh my gosh,
she became this national figure.
Look at her!
Real person.
Look at her! Oh my god!
Look at that, guys! You learning shit on the show today.
Wow. I blame the American education system that I didn't know she was a person. I thought she was an icon. But I guess imagine that. Like your legacy is you're an icon. That's it though. But that's it. You're just an image because no one gives a fuck who you actually were.
How many times do you think like she tried to tell people like, no, that's me. And they're like, oh, bullshit.
No, it's always like, yeah, honey, that is you. That's all of us. And like, I totally like, that's you. Yeah, you go, girl. That's you. And it's like, no, guys, that's me. That's my face up there. It's like, yeah, okay. Get the lobotomy. She's talking to the posters. What are we talking about? Okay, January.
Sorry, that was,
it's the Christmas episode. January, World War III. That's what we were doing. I think we like memed it away. Then did Kim Jong die? I think like a world leader died for a few weeks.
And he came back to life.
I
think like twice. If I remember correctly. Like he died and then like he didn't die, but then we didn't see him for a while, and then all of a sudden he's like alive again. So I don't know what kind of stuff is going on, but there's definitely some zombie shit going on over there in North Korea.
Imagine dying just to see how the world reacts and then seeing that nobody gives a shit. So you got to come back to life all like
and do it again.
Like the walk of shame. Like, actually, I'm alive. And then they still didn't give a shit. Actually,
how insulting is that?
Oh my God. I couldn't imagine like faking your own death and then like you didn't need to because no one was looking. And like that's some next level like depressing tragic stuff. And I see why he behaves that way, because like he's really just mad at himself and he's taking it out on the North Korean people. But no one gave a shit when he died. Like that's gotta that's gotta
who's that NBA player that goes over there and plays with him all the time?
I know who you're talking about, but he look I don't want to say he looks like a bird, but he kind of looks like a bird. God, what's his name?
It's not Larry a bird, but he looks like a bird.
Peace. He changed his name to like World Peace, Akuna Matata or some shit like that. He's not good. Now I gotta know who he is and see if my description.
Are you gonna Google that for me?
Yep, I am. I'm the Googler of this show.
Yeah. You know how many people are going to be like, as we're trying to figure this out, they're like, duh, it's this name. Everyone knows this. How do you idiots not know this?
The Lord is telling me to Google Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace? If that's legit,
it's Meta World Peace.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yep, that's the guy. That's the guy that goes and visits Kim Jong. What's his
Meta World Peace?
He changed his name to Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace does not give a shit about Kim Jong.
Ron Artest.
Yes.
Ron Artest. And he changed his name to Meta World Peace. Wow, that's what stuck with me. The Lord told me to Google Meta World Peace.
Well, I mean, now that you have a direct communication with him, like that's how you know everything we say on the show is 100% legit, because Jesus said so.
Came right from the man upstairs. But how fitting that like the world's ending and I talk to God.
I mean, you might as well start a religion. I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing.
You know what? It would save us on the taxes. So
at this point,
believed weirder shit like this. Have you seen those videos that Trumpers always send me, like weird fucking videos?
They've got a lot of them.
They got a fucking lot of them, and like someone like researched and pieced that together and looked for stock images and recorded a voiceover and wrote out a couple drafts, all to put that shit together. And it's like the only way you'd put that much effort is if you actually believed that the military chose Donald Trump to be president. And then you also have to like discount the fact that if that's true, it's a direct attack on our republic. And it's like,
wait, what is this video?
What?
What is this video?
Oh, you haven't seen them? There are these conspiracy theories that like prove that Donald Trump was sent to save America from the evil liberals. And that's why he's here to fuck shit up. And he's an outsider. And he was chosen.
Are you talking about QAnon stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I have intentionally never gone down that rabbit hole because I don't think I would take anyone seriously on the other side of it. So I just ignore it. That's my plan of action, is just to ignore all of that.
Dude, you gotta know. First of all, know thy enemy. Know thy enemy. These people are attacking the very fabric of reality, and I gotta know what I'm up against. So I also am like an insomniac. So what else am I gonna do at 4 a.m. except watch all these dumb conspiracy videos? But it's like, do you
want to do a QAnon episode?
We should do a QAnon episode because like I have a lot to say about a few videos in particular. But you can tell that these videos have been made to hide from a more crushing reality that America has not been that great ever. And like, that's depressing when you realize they're trying to hold on to this, like, America's the greatest. And it's just you guys who are fucking it up. And it's like, no, baby, on both sides, they've been ramming you up the ass. And like, now you're just starting to notice and you're looking for reasons. And like, I respect that. But,
Sarahbrook, this is a Christmas episode. What are we doing?
Oh, shit.
We're not trying to depress everyone.
You're right. This is the Christmas
We're going to
episode.
January.
Let's talk about the pandemic. Okay, how many people died?
Yeah, because that's much more lighthearted.
What am I doing talking about taking over the government? Let's talk about the pandemic. It's Christmas, James. Go ahead. What happened in February?
We're still in January.
Still in January? Oh my God.
Because this is important. I really wanted to mention this because the term coronavirus that we all use, right? It was actually coined on January 14th by a guy named Robert Kadlec. Okay, this is important because directly from the development of this term, the coronavirus, we have the infamous Cardi B video of coronavirus, or whatever, however she says it, which is iconic, by the way. Do you make like remixes and rap remixes that have been made of that video? If you haven't seen them, guys, they're actually pretty good. You should probably go look it up on YouTube. Google that right now because that is amazing.
No, Google it after you watch all our incessant rambling. But yeah, like her fucking, I don't know.
That was my favorite part of the pandemic, by the way.
And it's still young. Like, wow, that was it.
It's good.
That's it. You've had 12 months of pandemic, and that's the favorite.
That's top of my list.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It's not that great, guys, but definitely check it out. But I love Cardi B.
I'm definitely overhyping it.
I would hang out with Cardi B, I think, for at least 4 hours before I was just like, okay, girl, shut the fuck up. There's no way you talk like that. There's no fucking way. There's no way her voice is like that. But maybe like I've never been to New York. Okay. Are we done with
Okay, now we're done with January. I just really wanted to get that out.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't like that it was just some guy, like an Air Force health.
Right? It's like, who? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even tell you who he was.
Yeah.
Air Force officer, physician, Department of Health and Human Services, blah, blah, blah. Boring nerd. He's the first one to say something about coronavirus, which is so lame. Like, I thought it would be something cool. I wish it was just Cardi B saying coronavirus because I'd be like, okay, that's pretty hilarious, right? She's the one that coined the term, but no. We're not that
coronavirus. Like, what the fuck was he even thinking?
I don't know.
I like Trump's better.
Wait, what's Trump's? The China virus?
The China virus. I hate him so much. What a time to be alive, James. Okay, February. So February was the first time that like the United States noticed and like started taking it seriously, right? Because like I remember the 9th of February, the Trump administration did like a state of emergency or like a health whatever, finally, after saying like it's not real. And then they're like, okay, it is real. But
they were trying the time-tested pandemic response of ignoring it and hoping it will go away. Because that's usually standard procedure for most medical events.
You know, it's like a T-Rex. If you don't move and you don't look at it, it can't touch you. Like it's since
guys, I've seen this on Discovery Channel. The T-Rex cannot see you if you stand still. We're just gonna treat the coronavirus the same way. We'll be fine.
Yeah, just like ignore it, and like if anyone dies, blame it on the police because they're good at that anyway. And then like the numbers got too big. So it's like, okay, we gotta start acknowledging stuff like this now. I have a rant coming. I'm sorry, James.
Here we go, guys. We're warming up. Here we are.
Sorry,
everybody, get strapped in. Get strapped in.
I'm like tunnel visioning. The only reason that I have just sat back and let you enslave 2% of our population in prisons and bomb brown kids and rob us of our tax dollars and line the pockets of your friends, and I've let you do all of this with not much complaining, was because when shit got real, when I needed you most, you were just supposed to step up and make sure everything was okay and protect the American people. Like, that's it. I was like, okay, at least we have like a world power, and like when shit gets real, it's not going to suck as hard for us. And then the one time in a long time that I've needed the government to just step up to the plate and do the right thing, not only do they fail so fucking hard, the person I have to like look to and lead us through this wants to fuck his own daughter. And his daughter is married to a puppet, and his like entire fucking family is a goddamn shit show. And it's like, I didn't deserve that, James. In my first fucking pandemic, that Donald Trump is leading us through the world. Like, is that not a shit deal for 37% of my income? And then on top of that, now everyone's bickering back and forth and turned it into a goddamn team sporting event to figure out who can save us from the big bad virus first. And I'm sick of it, of this, oh, don't take a Republican vaccine, like they're rushing it. They wouldn't be good enough. And then time Biden gets elected, you guys should really be taking this vaccine. Like, now's not the time to be skeptical. And they look at me like I'm the asshole when I bring up Tuskegee, as if you guys have been so trustworthy with medical care before. And not only did you drop the ball here, and it's like, if you just reacted sooner, if you just did what like Vietnam did, what the Philippines did, you closed your borders, you acknowledged it was real, you told people the truth more often than you lied to them, so no one's a fucking skeptic all the time, and then people would be able to come together and they weren't pitted against each other. No one would be dead, homeless, just on the streets, starving in the middle of a pandemic. And then on top of that, while everyone's fucking suffering, they have the audacity to take a vacation while everyone's just like, what the fuck were you doing? Without making a deal to help all these people who've you fucked over, that you've agreed to take care of. Like, that was it. That's the only thing I've asked you to do. I've swallowed so much shit from the government. And the one thing I've asked, take care of these fucking people. And instead of doing that, they take a vacation, having not missed a single fucking paycheck, while expecting calling people selfish for going to work trying to feed their fucking families. And it's like, what did you expect them to do? What was honestly the viable solution here? Like, oh, you can't go to work, but also you can be evicted, and just tough it out for a stranger, please and thanks. Remember that same stranger that we told you was trying to take over and ruin your nation? Yeah, tough it out for them, please. Why aren't you guys listening? You're asking something so fucking ridiculous, and you're giving us nothing in return. And that's the worst part about American socialism, because it's all the fucking taxes associated with socialism and none of the fucking service. Like, this government is a fucking Ponzi scheme, and I'm really upset that I had to live through a pandemic to figure that out. Like, I am 22 years old and I should not feel this fucking desperate over the state of our union. And it's like, what do they expect from me? What do you want from me right now? Like, you call me lazy and just like, I want the world handed to me, but like, you're not giving me anything. You're taking more than like I have to fucking offer. You've been taking from me before I was even born. And now you're going to put me down and make me feel like a piece of shit. Like I'm not doing enough when you're doing literally nothing. And I'm the asshole. And it's like, why did it take me this fucking long? And why did I have to wait till I was like fucking in the gutter to realize that, holy shit, this sucks? And then you walk around pretending like, oh my God, I'm an American and people have it so much worse than I do. And it's like, it's not better or worse. It's just a different kind of fucking struggle.
And guys, that is just February.
Right. That's just fucking February.
Nailed it. Remember that, as long as you stick the landing and go, nailed that rant, guys. That whole it's done.
Sorry, James. Like they just come in my heart, and then it's just like, okay, but what happened in February? So we finally acknowledged it. Thank God. God forbid we did something sooner. Remember that plan they had that they fucking shelved in 2019, and we could have avoided all of this. We could have avoided the foreclosures. We could have avoided like everything. And the fact that they targeted small businesses, Republicans who are just like so fiscally responsible and just want people to have a good life and like have their money, shut down your small businesses, shut them down. We're not going to help. And it's like that piss poor small business loan that like only 7 people got, but the big airlines get millions. And it's my fault that you picked to go into an industry that's not pandemic proof. No one made you go into the airlines business. Like no one made you do that. And then on top of that, when you give these government bailouts, you remove my power as a consumer to be like, fuck you, Southwest, because fuck you, Southwest. They suck. Why are they in business? It's because of the goddamn government. And do you see the government does not invest well, ever. They don't invest well. And that's why we're funding Southwest Airlines. Let them close, okay? It's 2020. Why can't I fly in my own personal hovercraft yet, government? I don't need the airlines. Rant over.
You heard her, guys.
Rant over.
It's like, why don't we have hoverboards? Why don't we have flying cars? Like those are legit.
The government.
We need to like, how they call people in front of Congress to like interrogate them? I feel like we should do that to members of Congress on the show. And just be like, guys, you need to answer these questions, these tough questions. We're not going to let you off the hook.
Oh my God.
I've seen the Jetsons. I've seen, Back to the Future. I've seen some real shit, and we don't have it.
I was promised something when I was a child, okay? A vision of future and prosperity. And to think that it's 2020 and we're still on roads, like that is so hundreds and thousands of centuries ago.
It's insulting.
The roads. Oh my God.
Why are there still roads? Like, honestly, nobody can answer that question.
In 6 months for a disease we've never fucking seen before, but we can't get off these damn roads.
They love the roads. I'll tell you what. That's like their favorite thing in the world. These government people. They love themselves some roads.
Where the fuck are all these roadway projects people keep talking about though? Like I'm best friends with a pothole. We grew up together. Like. What are you guys doing with all my fucking money? Oh, but like, here's $600. That's all we can give. What are you? Take it from the goddamn drug war budget, okay? Like, shut down the Department of Education. These kids aren't in school anyway. And just give me back that money. Just give me back all the money. I'll solve this myself because government can't do it anyway. But James, what happened in February? We acknowledge.
All right, February. We're gonna run through this. We've got 2 rants down. February. So there was a Dr. Helen Chu in Seattle. She had a bunch of patients come to her. She that thought they had coronavirus, and we hadn't confirmed community transmission yet. And so the CDC, she called the CDC, said, "Hey, CDC, can I test these people?" And CDC's like, "No." She's like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, because we're not authorized to test yet." And so she didn't test for a couple of weeks. And then she called the CDC again and said, "Hey, I got a whole bunch of people that I think I should test." CDC's like, "No, we don't think you should test them." And she's like, "Fuck you, CDC. I'm going to test them anyway." She tests them anyway, and she gets a whole bunch of coronavirus patients. And CDC says, well, you weren't supposed to test them, so we're not going to really acknowledge it. But anyways, that's the long and short of how we got the first community spread and why we were not able to actually contain it in February. So what the government gave us for the second day of Christmas or the second month of Christmas is the reason it's a pandemic here in the United States, because they wouldn't let Dr. Helen Chu test. So yeah, back to the whole ignore it and it'll go away thing.
We paid good money for the CDC and they just ignored fucking information.
Yeah.
I want my money back for this year, James. I want my money back for all these fucking services. Like, are you, what the arrogance, the sheer amount of arrogance it takes to get real life fucking data from citizens that you're in charge of and just be like, you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't, that's a lot of
like
work.
The receptionist at the CDC is like, you got what? Just, hey, they said they got some coronavirus cases in Seattle. Hang up. Hang up. I don't want to deal with that shit. They call back, send them straight to voicemail. I am not talking to them. If Trump asks, what call? What doctor? I don't know. No Helen Chu. Like corona what? That Cardi B shit? Like I don't know anything about that.
Coronavirus. I fucking love her. Oh my god, that's upsetting.
All right, so that's February. We got February.
Fuck February. God, there's still 10 more months of this. Right? Let's do it. 10 more months. Go ahead.
Yeah.
March.
All right, March. Let's get on the roll. What happened in March? Stimulus happened in March. So we started shutting shit down. We started getting all kind of sick, and then we get a stimulus. And what happens in the stimulus? We get $1,200.
Yeah, but how much do we owe now that we got?
It was only about $18,000 that we owe for that $1,200 now. And,
okay, cool.
That's what we gave to Southwest and like Walmart and Lowe's and all those other big corporations while the small businesses were shut down. That seems like a fair trade to me. But that's what the federal government gave us as the third day of Christmas.
Fucking communism?
Yes.
I love it. How did you know?
This is what I've always wanted.
I've always wanted my own fucking sickle. I've always wanted. Okay, this is great. When do we go to the work camps? Is that October? We're
working on that. We're working our way right to that.
When did we get the mask mandates? Was that March too?
Ooh, those.
I think that was February. No,
February.
No, it was March.
Yeah, it was
March. Mandating, at least here in Colorado, we started mandating in March.
Yeah, a lot of the states started mandating in March. But interestingly enough, Dr. Fauci said there's no reason to be walking around with masks. And he said that in March because everyone was buying up all the masks at the store. And so Dr. Fauci said, you don't need a mask. So again, some really great guidance from the man on high there.
Who the fuck hired this dude?
Exactly. He said like everything in the book, and he's been wrong like every time. He just says a bunch of random shit all of the time.
No, wait,
who hired you?
Where the fuck did he come from? Who hired him? Who does he work for?
He just showed up one day and nobody questioned. That's what happened.
The fucking door, just like, hi, I'm Fauci. Like, okay, get in front of the camera, dude. You're little, you'll fit. Like, what?
Some intern was like, okay, I guess you're supposed to be here.
No, Fauci is like that guy that doesn't know sign language, but shows up to an event and says he knows sign language. And then he's just in the fucking corner doing like bird calls. And it's like, nobody's questioning that. Like, wait a minute, those aren't words. You can't do that.
Do you remember Nelson Mandela's funeral? Do you remember that shit? How hilarious was that?
Oh my god.
Obama's up there like giving like the speech of the century. And this dude's just moving his hands around bullshit, and he has no idea how to do sign language.
What do you think goes through their head? Like, this won't be televised. Like, this isn't a service people need and are counting on. And everyone who's counting on it is going to be like, wait a minute, this is a failure. Like, or is it like, this is my 15 minutes? I could be the guy that ruined a funeral. Like, what?
He was a dude in the crowd, right? And then somebody grabbed him and said, "You're on." He's like, "I'm on what?" And it's like, "Shut up and get up there and do sign language." And he's like, "Okay."
I want that to be right because that's the level of commitment I would show to something. He signed the fuck out of that speech. I don't care if it was wrong.
It was all gibberish, but he said it like he believed it. He believed what he was saying.
You know, maybe he's just like ahead of us and like that's just the new sign language. And like in 50 years, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, wow, that was actually perfect. And we owe him a huge apology.
I'm sorry, guy who translated Obama's Nelson Mandela speech in South Africa. You did a great job.
You know, I was actually surprised to learn that he died because I thought he was dead. Um, and that was interesting for me because I think there's like a whole effect named after that. Like I'm not the only one that thought he died in jail in the 80s.
Yeah,
And I feel like I learned that, but he didn't die in the 80s. He was alive and he died in the tens, and that's crazy.
it's like, guy, I thought you were already dead. Like, I mean,
I'm
go
not
you for like pulling out. Basically, it's Kim Jong. It's Kim Jong all over again. It's like I'm gonna die, reincarnate, come back and do this thing.
maybe that's where he got the idea because he saw how everyone gave a shit when Mandela died both times. And he was like, oh, they didn't give a shit the first time. It's the second time that they give a shit, and people are going to come give eulogies. And everyone was just like, stay dead this time. Bye.
Yeah, he's like, look, Nelson Mandela got Obama to do his speech. Maybe Trump's going to do mine. I don't know. And then Trump didn't show up. Now he's pissed. So he's like over there sulking in his corner now, holding his nuclear missile. All right, we are in April now. Let's see. Oh, we forgot March Madness was canceled in March. They straight up canceled March Madness. Well, I was just more concerned because that's the same month that we got the $1,200. So I just felt bad for like the gambling addicts that had to go watch like curling or some shit from Canada
to go watch curling
because we didn't have any more basketball.
I didn't even think about them because I was just like, why do people? Oh yeah, there's always like a gambling thing associated with it.
You got to think about all of the consequences. You know what I mean? Gambling addicts are people too.
Gambling. We have rights, damn it.
Gambling rights.
That was right, the domino effect for like all the event cancellations, right? Because they canceled a bunch of like, shows and everything. But I guess March Madness was the first nationwide cancellation.
First to go. And that was it. That was the end of sports and theater and everything. So thanks government for ruining all of the fun. I wasn't going to watch March Madness, but then as soon as they canceled it, I wanted to watch it. So it's like, okay. All right, what are we on now? We're on, was that April?
Okay.
What happened in April though?
April? Yeah. What happened in April? Well, it was still just like more lockdowns, more you can't go outsides. More states just kept chugging along. They finally paid out the small business loans. I think only very few businesses got it.
Yeah, most of the big businesses that had the lawyers to knock that out, they're the ones that got. Oh yeah.
Well, they got it first, and then the small businesses got like the scraps and marrow from that's right. That socialism. But so is socialism. Exactly. That's why people starve. Because the big ones eat first, which I don't know. That's fine. But didn't what's his name in
Boris Johnson,
England?
Yeah, he is English Trump, right? He totally
that
is.
Fucker. He is.
So
it's
weird.
Fucking odd.
It is so weird.
They're like, it's a sitcom. Because he came out of nowhere too, and I was just like, oh my god, this will never happen again. And then England was like, hold my fucking tea, and they brought up Boris Johnson.
Well, he got it, and then he crushed COVID. He like nailed that though. Like that was no big deal. He was still tweeting while he was in the hospital. So Boris nailed it.
Yeah. See, that's what you want in a leader. Someone who can have a disease that gets them hospitalized, but they don't miss a day from the gram. Love it. Okay. So nothing really happened in April. We just chugged along. May.
May. Nothing really happened in May either. My birthday's in May, so that happened. There was COVID going on. I did survive to my birthday.
That's cool. Wow, a pandemic birthday. I think everyone had one of those.
Oh, well, thanks for ruining it for me.
Oh, geez.
No, my favorite part of May is that Trump went on like a 3-week thing where he was like a hydroxychloroquine salesman. Like all he talked about every time he was on TV is like hydroxychloroquine is the best. I take it every morning. For $9.95, we can get you a subscription for like that kind of thing. It was like, all right, I get it, but like that's a bit much. Like you might be overselling it. He's definitely a marketing guy. He is a marketing guy. He's like, I feel like he became president so he could like start marketing things, like Trump steaks and Trump hotels and all this stuff. And then I guess he got a new client, hydroxychloroquine. So yeah, that was my favorite part of May. That was my birthday present.
But was that the same month that he was like, just inject cleaner into you? And then a bunch of his followers started doing it, and there was a spike in poison control because they all drank bleach. And I know for a lot of that year, I've been saying drink bleach to Trump supporters, but I never thought they'd do it. But at least someone's
you have to be the right person, to say drink bleach. And here's a weird. I actually ended up not defending, I guess. Defending Trump a little bit on this one because I think what happened, he used some technical medical terms. I think he talked to a doctor before he went on TV, had no idea what he was talking about, talked about disinfectant as in using UV rays to disinfect somebody's upper respiratory system. But he said it in a way that sounded like disinfectant as in bleach, because that's what they call bleach in that medical terminology. And a lot of the people listening to him were too stupid to know that. And I don't even think he knew what he was talking about. But I really think he would just talk to a doctor, repeated those words on TV, had no idea what was going on, and accidentally told people to drink bleach. I straight up think that's what happened.
No, because he turned to his aide and he was like, is that something we could like work on? Like getting disinfectant injected or like from the UVs. So I think like, yeah, he did talk to a doctor, but he was just like,
yes,
buzzwords. When do I get my next burger?
He was
buzzwords.
He tried to say some real medical terms. And then he strung them together and was like, all right, what's next?
Just like someone said this to me once, so here you go. But that's not how you run a country, and like when the stakes are this high, it's fun, but it's not fun, and I feel like if my kids ask me about 2020, I'd be like, oh my God, girl, how much time do you have? But right now I'm just
tell
like,
them to watch this episode.
Tell them to watch
this episode. This is why we're doing this for real, is for posterity, so that people can look back and have a record, a month-by-month recap of exactly what happened.
This is what will be shown in like future high school history classes. It's just this episode. And it's like, this is the mental state in America, and a pretty good recap of events too. So this is 2020. Guys, this is it. This is all in the test. Okay.
June. The government gave us 15% unemployment. Which is always great. Trying to live through a pandemic and then also not have money at the same time is a win-win for nobody.
I think it just builds character, because a lot of people have gone soft in like a first world country. So then we just made them play their own personal game of Survivor, and may the odds be ever in your favor. But 15% is nice.
So before COVID, it was like 3.6 or 3.5 or something like that. So 3 times we're like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it up. So just make sure nobody has a job. Just nobody works in June. We don't work in June. You guys, like you said, you're all too soft. Like, you need to learn how to survive without having to work. So we got a little bit of taste of that, which was great.
Fuck. I didn't know. I thought my heart told me it was 8%. It wasn't that bad. But now hearing that it's a 12% jump,
it's impressive.
That's fucking insane. And that's the thing about America. Like, we don't do anything small. So if we're going to have a pandemic, we're going to have the most deaths, the most unemployment, you're going to be so sick, you're going to be sick of being sick. Like, that's how America should do a pandemic. And I've never been prouder.
I'm really proud of us, guys.
We like killed this, like we really just killed this nation. We just really just fucking dicked it to the ground. And it was shit. It was shit, but I'm happy. So that was June.
I mean,
July.
it's like July, August, September. these are all kind of like they all blur together.
They all blur
Lockdown, people
together.
unemployed.
You can't go to
Yeah,
any sporting events. They
literally
closed.
everything.
They closed everything. Like holy shit! Like that was like when it was closed. Where like people
They're afraid to
started
go
taking it
outside.
seriously.
It's dangerous. Stay in your house, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Biden stayed in his basement that entire time. Like, I don't think he left ever. Campaigning for president from your basement is like a whole other level of 2020.
Holy shit! Do you know what we
What did we
forgot
forget?
of 2020 when fucking bunker Trump, because Trump went down to the
Yeah.
bunker for the first time because of the
That's
fucking
right.
protesters.
That is right.
Holy shit. And then he was like, I wasn't
Oh, yeah.
down there. I was inspecting it. I was like, you still a bitch. You still a fucking bitch. I don't care why you were down there.
I was inspecting
You
it.
the bitch.
That is something he would say.
Because-
I remember that too. That is so hilarious. I just like slipped my mind. I was inspecting all of our bunkers for an extended period of time.
That's what I like about Trump, because all the other presidents were just very high level, very let me run this country. But Trump is like, let me look at the bunkers, because at the end of the day, it's the little things, and you're only as strong as your weakest link. And like, what kind of nation are we if we have subpar bunkers? So if you think about it, he's just, you gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes you gotta go into a basement and inspect the bunkers while people are threatening you on your lawn. And it's not because people are threatening you on your lawn. This inspection was scheduled months ago. It just so happened to coincide
Little happenstance
with a protest.
as these things do happen.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
serendipity. You can't plan these things, but when you have an inspection, you stick to your schedule, because
That's
like, who are
absolutely
we if
correct.
not
A
our
man
habits?
is a man of habits and a man of, you gotta respect.
A man of habits, a man of inspection. Yeah, that Biden in his basement just reminded me of that. Just like that man, Bunker Dawn. Like, I don't remember what the hashtag was, but like these hashtags kill me. It was like,
So we
Bunker
had
Dawn or
all
some
summer,
shit.
we had the two candidates for president hiding in bunkers or basements. So that says a lot for our fortuitousness. All right, so we're just gonna skip all the way through September. So now we're in October. Halloween's canceled. Candy's infected.
Okay.
It's got COVID all over it. You gotta Lysol the candy before you eat it. That's really important. We're no longer worried about razor blades and apples. It's COVID in the Butterfingers.
Okay, you know what's pissing me? So in the beginning of the year, we have kids eating Tide Pods, and then they're drinking bleach, and now we're disinfecting our fucking candies, and I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of over what Americans are willing to put in their bodies. Because it seems like it started at McDonald's, and it's just been a slippery slope down, because now we're not even eating food. But the the Halloween cancellation blew my fucking mind, because if I can go to a drive-through, right? If I can like stand at a store and like jab a fucking cashier's ear off, why can't my shitty kids get candy tossed into a pillowcase, or leave the candy in a bowl and just like do a take one thing? You've limited contact, and children are like walking petri dishes anyway. So like, Halloween is gross no matter
Well
what.
candy.
But then again, I didn't feel very spirity
It's like staying at the
this
door,
year
chucking drinks
anyway.
at the kids
And
as they come
Halloween's
up.
my favorite holiday. Kids came to my door and I didn't even fucking open it, because I was like, ugh, I don't want to see your shitty faces. Like, I didn't even watch a scary movie. I just wasn't
Not
in
feeling it.
the holiday spirit, and I just haven't been.
I mean, how
haven't
can
been
you be,
like,
though? Like, if
I don't
the
know. I
candy's
still
out to get you, like, what is the point anymore?
like, you can't even go out and haze people, because like you'll come back infected, and like hazing's not worth it if I get consequences.
Yep. And that is the theme of the year, guys. We just can't have fun. No fun at all.
No fun in typical America fashion. No fun. November. So we canceled Halloween, but people were like, okay, we can have Thanksgiving. And then they cancel Thanksgiving, but here's the kicker. They cancel it for everyone but the politicians. And I thought that was good. I thought that was good because if anyone should die of COVID, it'd be the politicians. So I hope they're right in that large groups cause COVID and you shouldn't do it. And I'm glad that they did it.
Yeah, traveling, dinners with multiple households, not wearing masks, all the things you're not supposed to do. They did exactly those things.
I think they held events where they just coughed directly into each other's mouths. And that was their sacrifice for the American people, just to make sure that they were being serious. And that's how so many politicians have been coming down with it. If you notice, it's so many of them. And it's why are you hanging out if I'm not supposed to hang out because you get COVID, and then you hang out and you get COVID? And it's
they're doing it for us, though.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a self-sacrificing thing. That's the piece you're missing here, is you have to realize they're public servants. Everything they do is for our good. So you should just, accept that piece of their sacrifice for you and thank them for it.
Exactly. That's why I pay my taxes. That's it. It's for, it's so other people can live better than me and enjoy their life and not be so fucking miserable. And I do that so that, they can tell me what to do and make my life harder, because, I don't know if it's a self-esteem issue or maybe it's a kink, but I hate being comfortable.
Also, if they didn't do that, we would have nothing to talk about on the show. So it's really a win-win, See, it all works out in the end. And some of the recommendations for Thanksgiving that they gave us common folk, we had to keep the music down, and then we shouldn't sing. Just to add another level of I hope your life sucks, is just no loud music and no singing, because that would obviously we would have too much fun at that point, and they just didn't want to, for our own sake, they did not want that to happen.
Is that real?
That was a recommendation by the CDC, was to not sing, and then also to keep the music down.
When the fuck would I sing for Thanksgiving? There are no Thanksgiving songs. What are we just rocking out by the turkey?
In case you were feeling any kind of holiday spirit, they just wanted to preempt that and make sure that you just, cut that off.
It's like Shariah's Law. Don't sing, don't dance, don't laugh. Don't even fucking chuckle to yourself. It's I think that's what bugs me. They're so fucking ridiculous. It's just nonsensical. When the fuck would I have sung a song? That's...
They just think we're out here singing all the time, and we're tired of it. And they're we just can't have people running around singing all the time.
They're watching Glee. That's it. They just think they don't know what it's like to be an American. They watched Glee. They're oh, okay, I get it. I get what young people are doing. They're breaking out into song and dance at random times throughout their day. And that could really spread COVID.
This is what the kids are into these days. That's what I do on the daily. So I get where they're coming from. Sometimes it's annoying that I do that. I have no control over it. I just break out into song and dance.
Oh my God, especially in the middle of a meeting, it's just you're talking about your reports and spreadsheets, and then you just gotta be if you turn to section 8.
That was good. We should have sung this entire episode. I feel
that's an April Fool's Day episode. Just talking. Did
you just
tease
an episode from 5 months out or 4 months out?
I told you, I speak to God. It's all predetermined, James. I'm just along for the ride.
What the good Lord has told me to you.
What the good Lord has told me.
All right. Speaking of the good Lord, my favorite part of November is when the Pope, he's locked in his castle, the Vatican, and you're just scrolling through Instagram, and you see a really, really nice...
Whoa. You're not going to gloss over that.
Yes,
the Pope has an Instagram?
Because the Pope was scrolling through Instagram and decided to, a Instagram butt model pic, and because he had nothing else to do for COVID. Look it up; it's a real thing.
Okay, one, damn well I'm going to look it up. But 2, you're not going to just drop that kind of bomb of information on me. 1, the oldest living pope hasn't. 1, the Vatican hasn't entered, has fucking Wi-Fi. Okay, shook to my core. Who pays the pope? Like, how does he make money? What kind of phone does he have? It doesn't matter. But
he's definitely an Apple guy.
Has
though,
an
by the way.
Instagram account.
He's got an iPhone. Oh yeah.
He has a fucking iPhone. The Pope has an iPhone and has Instagram. And not only does he have Instagram, he's searching for softcore porn.
We learned about Rosie the Riveter, and we learned about the Pope and his Instagram preferences. So yeah, definitely check those things out. We are educating you.
Wait a minute. That means, okay, but how do we know that? Did the girl who owns the butt, did she be like, oh my God,
she screenshotted it and posted it?
Or did someone scroll through?
It was great.
Imagine living your life that way. Like you're just like existing in the world, you're checking your notifications, and there it is. The fucking Pope.
I'm pretty sure her post was something like, I'm pretty sure her post was something like, I guess I'm going to heaven now.
If you're gonna be the fucking Pope, and you're gonna like, is his account verified? Now I gotta find the Pope on Instagram and be like, is he verified?
Check mark on Twitter and all this good stuff. So, yeah, guys, look that up. It is. I could not believe it. I had to read like 3 different sources before I actually believed it. But yeah, that was my favorite part of November.
It wasn't the election.
The election was a shit show as usual. And it's more fun afterwards.
You know, I was disappointed by the election. I wanted more drama, you know, and like with 2020, the way it's been going, like I wanted like Tupac to come out and like, you know, like something, but it was just like one old guy yelling at another old guy yelling, and all their fucking idiots yelling. And it wasn't enough tears. It wasn't enough like finger pointing. It was kind of embarrassing, you know? Cause like I remember, no, but like comparatively, like Obama was a shit president, you know, just like morally. But like that was the first election that like I paid attention to, that I watched, and like it's such a stark difference between that election and like this one. And it's just like it hasn't been that long, but how do we end up here?
Like 2020 has been like peak terrible things. Like everything has just been like over the top, and then the election was like, okay, that was it. Is this done? Is what happened? Okay.
You know, for like 2 weeks, I didn't even look who won. You know, because like my Facebook got deleted. So I was just like, whatever, going through life. And then I was like, it's probably just some rich old man. So
you may have been correct about that assumption. Did you get that from up top? He passed that down to you, that prediction?
Okay. No, that was just like right in here. Like that's a Sarahbrook original. And the weird part is like I don't care either way. Like I thought I would have like an emotion, a reaction, like feeling towards it, and I don't. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it was just very anticlimactic.
That's not real. No, did you hear? So they researched the voter fraud, and it turns out someone voted for Trump under their dead mother's name. And that was my favorite part of fucking, yeah. It was just like, methinks thou doth protest too much, sir.
All right, so that was November. We're past the election now. That was I'm actually glad that's done. I think just get that over with so we can move on to the next thing. Which brings us to December, right here, right now. Which, I mean, what happened in December besides stimulus? Oh, the stimulus that they decided to pass.
Oh, that got us like That 600 bucks.
Lots of other money to go into other countries and that kind of thing. We get $600, so that's the good part. Um, we got 2 billion for Space Force in that bill, which is nice. Got some money to build a new museum, Smithsonian Museum, because of COVID. COVID is the reason for that.
Yeah, because they need a place to put all our corpses, when like the future generations come walk through and want to know about history, you have a new fucking museum. Didn't they ban memes and streaming stuff?
Yeah, so it's like copyright stuff. So copyright stuff, be careful, meme lords, because they could be coming for you. You could do some jail time for that. Those hardcore memes. So just turn those memes underground. Sarahbrook, you better be careful. You've been zucked a couple times. You're probably like top of the list, like the list of like terrorist meme lords. I mean, you may be at the top of that list.
I'm kind of, because people steal my memes all the time. And like, how cool would it be if someone went to jail because they reposted my meme? Like, that's how I know that I made it in the entertainment industry, because people are in prison, slaves to the state for my memes.
That initiative you have, that mass incarceration initiative, they're the only ones to say everybody but him, everybody but him.
I think you reposted my meme without liking it. He can stay. He can stay. Am I that petty? I
like,
am.
that sucks for you. That sucks for you.
Ooh, I am. Shouldn't have stolen my memes. Yeah, that was a shit bill. But how much did we give to like Israel? We gave like 3.3 billion to a bunch of other countries. Like, what's that for?
3.3 billion, a couple billion for Afghanistan, a couple billion for.
Okay, yeah, but like what? Okay. We can't like bomb their kids and then send them money. Like, pick one.
We like to do everything. So we'll kill your kids and give you money for it.
The fact that they got more money than us and like they kill our kids too. Like, what do you got to do? What do you got to do to get a little bit of love from America? Right? Because like, I fund all this bullshit you do, and you treat other people better than me. And I just feel like a neglected girlfriend at this point. Just like, hey, notice me, babe. You spending a lot of time with Israel. And like, I just feel like we've lost our special connection, America. So like, give me $3.3 billion. I'll redistribute it among the masses. Or like, give me my fucking money back. Like, that's the thing, is like, some of this money is going to good stuff, sure. But everything else, like, that's theft. And I can't reconcile, like, I would be happier if they distributed my money better, I guess. But like, I don't want socialism. I just want my money back. Just give me everything I've paid. You know? Yeah, I don't even want to go through the morality of it. Just give me everything. I'll donate to what I think is necessary.
And that's the Christmas spirit, guys. That is the Christmas spirit. Give me my goddamn money back, and I'll do with it what I want, and I'll distribute it. And
I'll even donate to the Bombing Brown Kids Fund. Give them $1 if that makes them feel better.
Kids Fund?
Would you like to round up for the Bombing the Brown Kids Fund?
You're welcome.
That's
guys.
A t-shirt, James. That's a shitty t-shirt. This has been a very dark Christmas
The dark
episode.
winter that Biden was talking about. That's the Christmas episode he was referring to.
So that was it, guys. That's our recap of the year and everything COVID. And sorry it was so depressing, but it really fit the tone of this year. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We hope you have a great new year. And we're going to be thinking about you. Probably not. I probably won't think about you at all. But I hope you're probably not. You're right. But I still hope 2021 is fucking on an uphill trend, because this has been downhill, and that's how stocks work, right? You go down, 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 and then you skyrocket up. So I feel, you know what? Let's not jinx it. No one claimed 2021 for their year. Let's just hold hands and go through it together.
All right, guys.
That's all I got. What are we doing
We
next
are
week, though?
doing. I actually don't know what we're doing next week.
No, we said it. We said it
What did
earlier
we
in the
say?
fucking episode.
I'll figure it out when I'm editing.
Fuck. Was it
Was it
stimulus
stimulus?
checks?
I'll figure it out.
No. Was it the Keon? Well, okay. Well, when you figure it out, put that in the end.
Yes.
Put that in the end card, okay? When you figure it out, tune in next week for,
Yes.
and then just voice over it. And then
I'm
so
like,
tired. I'm sorry. Yeah.
How we are.
Are we still recording? Okay. Happy holidays. I love you guys so much. Stay safe. Don't forget to smile because that's all we can really do. We're going to get through this together. Know your enemy, honestly. Just, we're in this together, like I said. It's the government. It's the fucking government. That's all I got to say. It's the government. If you look through this entire fucking timeline, it was never like, oh, the fucking Trump supporters did this. It was always the government, the government, the government, the government. So have a good fucking holiday, but also renounce your government. Like 2021 is going to be the year of action, and it's time we like did something. So coast this one out. You fucking survived some heavy ass shit. And I'm really proud of all of you. But we got to kick our ass into gear for next year because we're not doing this anymore. This shit sucked. This shit sucked. Wow, this was not fun. And it was all the fucking government's fault. And they had a great time. And no one's going to have a great time on the back of my hard work anymore. So we made it. Congrats, pat yourself on the back, dust yourself off, and let's like kick ass next year. Absolutely. Government ass, preferably.
All right.
That's the outro.
Merry Christmas.
Love you.
Bye.